Just when you thought Blake Lively's lawsuit couldn't get any messier, boom! Enter Jenny Slate, and suddenly things look even worse for Blake and Ryan Reynolds. With legal arguments falling apart and shocking new details surfacing, this latest twist might just change everything. So how did Jenny end up caught in this whirlwind? Let's break it all down. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Scrambling mode activated. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are in full-on damage control mode as Justin Baldoni secures yet another legal win. But the real jaw-dropper, Jenny Slate, has now been pulled into the controversy, making things even messier for Blake and Ryan. Blake's case was already shaky, but now that the full story about Jenny is out, people are questioning everything. And trust me, the receipts are not working in their favor. Legal arguments are unraveling, accusations are losing steam, and this situation is quickly spiraling into a PR disaster they can't contain. And now, in a surprising twist, Blake's legal team is claiming that Jenny is one of the supposed victims from the It Ends With Us set. But how did she even get dragged into this mess? Let's get into it. Jenny Slate enters the chat. Jenny just shook things up, big time. The moment Baldoni's name got thrown into this mess, she wasted no time firing back. She released a fiery statement calling the claims in Blake's lawsuit dark, disturbing, and outright threatening. And she didn't stop there. Oh no.
Hey, I'm Blake Lively.
And I'm Jenny Slate.
And we're both in the movie It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us.
Jenny doubled down with an even longer message, making it clear she's standing by Blake no matter what. She declared, "As Blake Lively's castmate and friend, I fully support her as she stands up against those trying to destroy her reputation. Blake is a leader, a loyal friend, and an emotional rock for me and so many others." But hold up, because here's where things take a wild turn. While Jenny was out here riding hard for Blake, the internet was busy digging into her past. And what they found? Yikes. Let's just say, it's not looking good. Jenny Slate's past. Resurfaces. Old clips of Jenny have resurfaced, including one from her time on Anna Faris's podcast, with none other than Chris Evans. And what she casually admitted? The internet is not letting it slide. Jenny was laughing while describing something that sounds a lot like DV. And look, she's a comedian, but nobody is laughing at this one.
Slate literally filed a complaint against Jamie Heath for his kindness. Yeah, because they want to weaponize that against him, like Blake weaponizes it against Bell.
People are calling out the hypocrisy, because this is the woman Blake is holding up as her smoking gun. The same Jenny who filed an HR complaint because someone talked to her about motherhood and offered her money to help relocate? Yeah, the math is not mathing. So what actually happened on set? According to The Hollywood Reporter, Jenny Slate had her own behind-the-scenes drama on the It Ends With Us set, messy enough to be referenced in court docs, though her name was initially blacked out. Here's what went down. Jenny wasn't happy with the New York apartment she rented during filming. She wanted to move, but doing so meant losing her massive $155,000 security deposit. That's when Heath allegedly stepped in, offering to cover the cost so she could find better housing.
We were like really getting to know each other in like a really beautiful, fun, real way every day on set.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful experience.
Sounds like a nice gesture, right? Well, not exactly, because Jenny claimed that the way he phrased it made her deeply uncomfortable. Apparently, Heath got weirdly fixated on the sanctity of motherhood and her role as a mother, making the whole thing feel off. And guess what? Sony caught wind of it. The internet reacts. Jenny's complaint backfires. Let's sit with this for a sec, because this part of the drama is wild. Jenny wasn't happy with her apartment, raised a huge fuss, and when someone actually offered a $155,000 solution, instead of saying thank you, she flipped it into a complaint. Yeah, you heard that right. The internet has been on fire over this one, and people are not holding back.
I have never hit anybody as much as I hit Chris. And when I came back...
Who's the one that instigates it?
I don't know what it was, but I've never hit anybody in my life. And then I met Chris, and I love it.
Here right now. You
Dear listeners,
him on the face.
I slapped him so much. I love him.
We
have a... Where's that GIF?
I need them to sign release forms.
I hit him so much. I came back from making our movie and hit some of my friends. Because I was so used to just hitting Chris all the time. And a couple of my friends were like, you know what? we really don't like it. And I hit my
playing
husband
rough.
and he was like, nobody likes that. Like, you shouldn't hit people. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. There's only one person.
You know your own strength because you're a strong dude. You're like Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
The other thing, no, is that I realized he was letting me do it.
As a woman and mother, it's insane that she'd complain about a man valuing her role as a mother. This is so offensive to anyone who's actually been in a truly threatening situation. So, someone offered to help her move to keep her daughter safe, used the words, sanctity of motherhood, and she found that offensive? Make it make sense. And here's where it gets even messier. People have analyzed the so-called offensive moment, and most agree it wasn't even HR-worthy. In fact, the overwhelming reaction?
Believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
And you learn about it, and you spark each other's creativity levels, and like, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're at the place of physical. That's awesome. What a wonderful story.
I'd literally kill for a boss who notices when I'm struggling and actually tries to help. But not Jenny. She took a good deed and turned it into a case of disrespect. The religion factor. Why this story hits deeper. This goes even deeper. That entire gesture, the one that set Jenny off, it was actually tied to Baldoni, Heath, and their faith. Sources say all three, Justin, Heath, and Wayfarer co-founder Steve Switz, are part of the Baha'i faith. And here's why that matters. Baha'i teachings emphasize the sanctity of motherhood, equality, and justice.
Well, that amended lawsuit that Blake put out was more like a Lifetime movie screenplay. Who wrote this amended lawsuit? Because you clearly didn't have any new evidence, because you had to go back a decade to pull up Justin's TED Talk to use sound bites from that TED Talk to try to prove your point here. You also mentioned that the smear campaign impacted your hair product line sales. I don't think that was it, love. I just think people don't want to look like they were dragged through a bunch of branches on the way to work. No.
The importance of community and support. So instead of seeing the kindness behind the offer, Jenny called it inappropriate. And get this, the HR complaint wasn't about Justin. It was about Heath being too generous and caring about her child's well-being. Now that the full story is out, people are dragging Blake for even using this in her lawsuit. As if this was her best evidence.
Tell you this, there's anyone that reasonably has information that can be that can provide evidence in this case is going to be deposed. I mean,
that's Taylor Swift. She was there for that meeting.
She was there for that meeting.
Okay, well, I'm a lawyer. I know what that means.
It's looking real desperate. Blake's smoking gun is looking real weak at this point. Calling Blake's so-called smoking gun a stretch is an understatement. Justin Baldoni just keeps winning, while Blake's support crumbling. Why? Because people are realizing this isn't about real misconduct. She's just throwing accusations and hoping something sticks. And y'all, we are still not done with Jenny Slate. You already know how this works. Bring that mean girl energy, and the internet will dig. And guess what? They dug deep. What they found on Jenny, way more disturbing than her HR complaint. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, that old podcast clip resurfaced. And let's just say, people are done giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, what is going on at The Hollywood Reporter? Because they've updated their Blake and Baldoni Baha'i article yet again.
Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's team is unbothered. His powerhouse lawyer, Brian Friedman, is running circles around these claims. And honestly, it's getting harder and harder for Blake to dodge the truth.